Mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and I am selling this PlayStation 3. I've got about 3 PlayStation 3s that I do not need, and I'm really getting out of this thing where I have 3 or 4 of the same console, which is literally the case in some instances. Like when it comes to the Wii, I have 4 Wii's. I do not need that many, so I will be selling at least 2 of those Wii's. I've got about 4 PlayStation 2s, so I'm definitely selling at least 2 of those. I've got a few consoles just in double mode, and I just don't need all that. So I will be selling some consoles. There's just no need for it. And plus, I do want to create the space for this. So, for those of you who are not aware, many of you already are because I've been talking about it at nauseum. But this is my final travel film setup. So I'll be away for a while, and I want to capture as much of the time that I'm going to be away as possible. And I want it to look as cinematic as possible. And so I spent months just kind of tailoring my camera setup the same way I tailor my video game collection. And I've narrowed the setup down to 5 cameras and 6 lenses, right? And I'm going to kind of go through those with you. If you're only here for the games, I totally get if you click off the video now, but this is another passion of mine, so I'm going to go through it with all of those who care. And for the members only, or for the members of the channel, I will be doing a members only live probably tomorrow afternoon. So hope you guys will show up for that members only live. It will be a good one. I'll be kind of going into I'll be giving a more in-depth view about what I plan on doing with my collection. I'll be showing you guys some of the things that I'm actually taking out of the collection. So for the members, that'll be a live that you'll definitely want to catch. All that being said, let's go ahead and start with the whole setup, right? So the way I plan on doing this is I want to have some of the most cinematic shots possible, but I also want to have some fun with capturing some of these moments as well. So for the fun moments, I decided to bust out. This is the camera that I had back in college, right? So this is one of those early to mid 2000s, right? Like the 2005, 2006 era. This is a Canon PowerShot SD. So for those of you who guys, you may not be, or maybe you remember these cameras. They've been making a comeback. And these are actually quite popular right now. But these have kind of taken the place of what many might consider like a film camera or like a point and shoot camera. Almost like, kind of like Polaroid, not really Polaroid, but this is kind of like a very fun point and shoot type of camera. So you're not going to get like amazing portrait shots. You're not going to get like, amazing backgrounds and things like that. This is a very basic point and shoot camera, and the images themselves look very, digitized. But that's exactly what this camera is meant to be. It's supposed to be a lot of fun. And this is probably the camera that my daughter will probably be running around just snapping away. So we're going to give her a really large memory card, and I'm just going to let her snap, snap, snap away and just capture as much as she can with this camera. So this is kind of like a fun camera just for like everyday photos. And this is probably going to be the only camera that's really used for photography out of everything that we bring on the trip. Then next, this is the action cam. So this is my GoPro 4. This is the GoPro that I got the first time I went to Hawaii. This thing went underwater with me when I swam at the Molokini Crater. And it's the same camera that's going to come with me this time when I take my daughter snorkeling for the first time. So this is going to be kind of like the action cam, the cam that's just on. It's going to be on my body. I actually have a body, like a strap that you can use to like strap the GoPro to your like chest or shoulder. I'm not sure if I want to have it strapped to my shoulder or like to my chest yet, but this is going to be kind of the action cam that's just with me, probably while I'm driving, while I'm swimming, hiking, different things like that. So this is just going to be kind of an all around just recording, capturing everything. Gonna have a lot of fun with the GoPro. So this is the second camera. My eyes in the sky. I'll just talk about this one. So I've got the DJI Mini 4 Pro. And this is going to be my eyes in the sky. I actually took this thing flying the other morning. Just decided to take some shots in D-Log and D-Cinelike. I haven't tried to grade the footage yet or really mess with it at all. I'm probably gonna mess with some of the footage tonight. It's been a very busy week with work. This is kind of like my last full work week before heading out. So yeah, so this is definitely going to be my eyes in the sky. I plan on capturing a lot of amazing landscapes. I mean, Hawaii's beautiful, right? So you definitely want to get some aerial shots. It's just going to be beautiful. So these are my eyes in the sky. And then these are my two main guns that I will be using while I'm out there. So let's start with the daytime. So this will be my daytime gun. This will be the camera that I use for pretty much all my shots from when the time that the sun is fully emerged all the way until right before golden hour. So this is like purely daytime run and gun. This is my Lumix GH5. I've paired that with the Metabones speed booster, and I've used that to adapt a Canon 24 to 70 f2.8 millimeter lens on there. I do have ND filters that I'll be using with this, so we've got that. This is pretty much going to be the all-around guy. I'll probably have this on the GH5 the majority of the time, but for those moments where I do want to have like a wider shot, a wide angle, like especially when we go to the beach, like when we're just entering the beach, that's probably where I'll use a lot of this. This is the Tokina 11 to 16 millimeter f4, I believe is what this is. And f4, you know, is perfect for a daytime lens, especially one that I'm going to be using. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. This is f2.8. So this is still a fast lens, but I probably will have this stop down just because I'm going to be using this during like peak sunlight. So both of these cameras will have both of these lenses will have filters on them, and this is what I'll be using during the day. So really excited about that. I plan on capturing a lot of really awesome video. I've actually been practicing with this lens with the GH5. I've really been practicing my slow motion, so like 120 frames per second, just for that slow-mo B-roll. It's beautiful, man. I mean, it's beautiful. So really excited about that. And I'll probably be shooting a lot of things in like 120 frames or 60 frames per second. A lot of the B-roll will be shot in that. So I am bringing a small microphone, a Comica. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get like a lapel mic or anything like that, or like a lavalier. I don't think I'm gonna get anything like that, but I'll just bring like a small mic that I can just have on the camera for the times where I want to capture something. If I really want to record someone, I'll just use the mic on my phone. I mean, if it gets that serious, I doubt it'll get that serious. I don't think we're gonna be recording a lot of conversation, but we'll see. We'll see. So this is my daytime setup. And then my nighttime setup, this is the one that I'm super excited about. First of all, it features my favorite camera in the world, the original Sony a7S. Yes, this is a very old camera. It came out in 2013. And by camera standards, this thing is like ancient. Like cameras age in like dog years. Like, you know, a camera comes out today and in 2 years, it's like ancient, right? So there have been 3 generations of Sony a7Ss that have come out. You've got the a7S II and the a7S III. And the a7S III actually is pretty old now because the a7S III came out in 2020. So we're probably due for an a7S IV. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm still a huge fan of the original a7S because it does everything that I need it to do. It's a camera that I'm extremely familiar with, and it's simple. And I love the simplicity of this camera. I don't need 4K, 120 frames per second. I don't shoot in 4K. I don't shoot in 6K. I don't need all of these video profiles that take up massive amounts of space in your computer and take hours to render. This is not a professional video shoot. I'm not like shooting something for Coca-Cola or Pepsi or The Gap. This is like cinematic, but it's still family. So I don't need anything like that. And that's one of the reasons why I love this camera. And even if I did want to get like really professional, I do have an Atomos Ninja V. For those of you who don't know what that is an external recorder. It's basically a screen that has recording capabilities that you can sync to this camera via one of the outputs right here. And it allows you to record externally in 4K. So if I really wanted to do that, I could, but the 1080p that comes out of this camera is top tier, so no need for any of that. So I'm really psyched about the camera. Let's talk about the glass. Let's talk about the lenses, which is what I'm even more excited about. So I am gonna bring my nifty 50 This is the really cheap but super effective. Love this lens. This is the Sony 50 millimeter f1.8. This is a fast lens. And I'm mainly just bringing this lens because this will be the only native lens that I have. Like, this is the only Sony native lens with autofocus, right? So this is really the only this is gonna be the only native lens that I have with autofocus that I can have for the Sony. And I have a feeling there may be moments where I'll want that autofocus, even though it sucks. Like, A7S has notoriously bad autofocus, but I may want that while I'm there. There may be times, so I may use it. So I am gonna bring it on the trip. But what I'm primarily gonna have attached to this camera is all vintage glass. Like, it's really what I'm gonna have, all vintage lenses, because this is my nighttime setup. So this is the camera that I'll be using during the hours of golden hour in the evenings all the way until golden hour in the morning. So probably from like 5 o'clock in the evening all the way through until maybe 7 or 8 in the morning, when it's darkest out and when that sun just hits that sweet spot, and when the sky takes on all of those amazing fuchsias and oranges and purples and reds and sometimes greens and dark blues and indigos. You know, tropical skies are amazing, and the way vintage glass renders color is second to none. So I've got a 3 lens vintage glass setup here. The first lens is this Canon 24 millimeter f2.8. This is a vintage Canon FD breech mount lens. This is gonna be the lens that I use to get all of my wide shots, all of like the broad shots, because I don't really have a wide angle lens for this camera yet in a vintage lens. So that's what this is gonna be. I just started using kind of this lens. I'm digging it. I'm digging the image that I'm getting out of it. Next up is my reject lens. I call this lens a reject lens because I tried to trade this lens into B&H here in New York, and they rejected it. They rejected it. The guy said that he felt like there was something wrong with the focus ring. I didn't think that. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit loose. Like, there's a little bit of give here, but I don't think there's anything wrong with this lens. And as a matter of fact, the more I started to use it, the more I was thankful that I didn't get to trade this in, because this is my only zoom lens on the Sony A7S. This little macro lens here, it is a 35 to 70 millimeter f3.5 lens. I think it goes from 3.5 to 4.5. It goes to 4.5 when you zoom in at the end of the zoom. So it's a slow lens, and it's not a very expensive lens, but it's a very effective lens, and it's gonna have a very effective use case, being that it's my only lens and it covers a wide range, right? So I obviously have the 24 millimeter. The 35 millimeter kind of is the next step up. It's like the beginning of, like, I guess, portrait. You know, anything under 35 millimeter would probably be considered wide, and then from between like 35 millimeters and like 70 to maybe 75 millimeters, that's like medium or portrait length. You do, like, once you're like in the 80s, 85, 90, that's when you're getting into telephoto or long zoom lenses. So this one actually kind of helps me out in that focal range between 35 and 70 millimeters, and it's actually a pretty decent lens. So this is a versatile one that will probably be sitting on the A7S for a good amount, especially in the evenings. And then this is the money shot. So this is probably the most cinematic lens in my setup. I'm super glad that I got this lens. I'm stoked. This is a beefy, chunky, hardy, very good lens. This is gonna give me some buttery smooth bokeh. It's gonna render some really amazing colors, and this is gonna spend a considerable amount of time on my camera. This is an amazing lens. This is the Canon FD 55 millimeter 1.2. So this is an extremely fast lens, meaning that this lens lets in a ton of light, which is perfect for low light settings, and it's going to be sitting on the low light king. So between this lens and this camera, I'll be able to shoot in the dark. I'll be able to literally film in the dark and get some really good quality images. So this would be perfect for like when we do the nighttime luau's, if we do any kind of, anything at night. And you know, we're gonna be there. It's like getting towards the end of the summer. Like the sun isn't rising as early as it was a month ago, and it's setting faster than it did a month ago. It sucks how fast the seasons change and how fast summer goes away, but I'm recognizing that summer is like, it's saying, all right, you better enjoy me while I'm here, because I'm out of here. You know, I'm gonna be out of here in about, what are we, we're almost already a week into August, so summer's gonna be out of here soon, right? Quick. So look here, you hear the ice cream truck? Yeah, the ice cream truck isn't gonna be around that much longer. So this is gonna be great. Can't wait to use it. So this is the setup, right? So this is the setup. The Lumix, the Sony. I've got the 55 millimeter 1.2, 35 to 73.5 to 4.5, the 1.8 50 millimeter. I've got the 24 millimeter 2.8 on there. And then I've got all the focal lengths that I need for the GH5. I've got my daytime setup, my nighttime setup. I've got my eyes in the sky. I've got my action GoPro for when I'm swimming and whatnot. And then this is just going to be the fun camera, just capturing all those really cool moments. So I am stoked. When it's all said and done, it is going to be amazing. I can't wait to just capture the moments. I can't wait to get in there and edit it. It's gonna be a good time. So I'm already thinking of the soundtrack to our vacation, all the songs that we're gonna have to go with it, and it's gonna be a good time. So let me know what you guys think about this setup. Let me know if you've been to Hawaii, you have any ideas, any places I should go, anything I should be filming. Let me know down in the comments, and I will catch you in the next video. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.